we're back. Oh God, what a week. I'm so tired. It's been such a busy week. Oh my word. Why did I think about taking wallpaper off? Why? On a week off. Why did I decide to do that? I should have just painted it. Silly me. So yes, so the decorating is ongoing. Oh my word. You know when you just get sick of seeing bits of wallpaper that everywhere. Oh God. Anyway, enough of that. So what we're going to talk about today. Today we are going to talk about, we're going to continue our journey of development and of discussions about your clairs. So if you've not seen any of these videos before, then go back 5 videos, I think it is, to the one about rituals, which is the beginnings of ways of helping to develop your abilities, with various tools that we can use, working on the energy around us, working on the energy within us, using crystals, sage, Palo Santo, and all the other different tools that are in that video, singing bowl, sound, that sort of stuff. So today, we've covered the rituals, we've covered clairaudience. I've done a Reiki video for clairaudience, and then I did a video about clairvoyance, and then I've done a Reiki video to help develop your clairvoyance as well. So this video I'm going to combine with the last 2 of the main, I mean there's lots of clairs, but the main 4 are what I'm going to cover in these videos. So the last 2 that I'm going to cover are clairsentience and claircognizance. So where do we start with these? These are very interesting clairs. These out of the 4, these are the 2 that are a little bit more mysterious and hard to describe, and to work with as well. But there are ways. So let's just talk about what they are first to start with. So clairsentience. Clairsentient ability is basically a feeling. It's very much on the same level as the empathic energy, where you can sort of sense energy in a room, you can feel what mood people are in, you can feel if someone's angry, you can feel if somebody's sad, you can feel if somebody's happy, and it's that same sort of frequency that you're working with, that same sort of feeling that you get from somebody that's in the different moods. Only thing is, it is connecting that with spiritual energy. So when you sense spirit in a room, you can sense whether they are, a little bit negative, or if they're positive, or if they're nice and light, or if they're friendly, or if they're funny, and you get a general vibe off them. And so it's exactly the same as a person. I mean, people are spirit in form, so it's exactly the same as sensing that energy, except it's within spiritual energy of someone that's not physically there anymore. And when you're working down the empathic thing anyway, you can feel that too. You can feel so much energy, and that's sometimes where we talk about empath overwhelm and some stuff like that, where you kind of like, there's a lot of different things you can help to deal with that, but ultimately with empath overwhelm, it's trying to look at ways you can work on yourself and heal yourself, so you're not going to go into situations, so you're prepared for things beforehand, so you're not going to go in sort of unarmed into situations. So clairsentience is sensing. Basically, it's your sensing ability. So you can sense if there's somebody in the room, you can sense what they might feel like, you can sense what they might, you can almost sense what they might look like, you can sense what sort of energy they might have. It might be a heavy energy, it might be a masculine energy, you can sense whether it's a feminine energy. There's many different things that you can sense when you're working with your clairsentience. It's an extremely powerful clair. It really is extremely powerful, And it tends to be, for me, when I'm working, my clairsentience works very, very much in hand with my clairvoyance. And you'll find this about all your clairs. When they start all coming together, they work as a ring, as a ring of power, as a ring of solidarity. And so yeah, that's your sensing side of things. Your claircognizance is your knowing. So it's like a cognitive thing, cognizance, cognitive. So you basically just know something's about to happen. You know when someone's about to ring you. You know that something doesn't feel right. You just have this inner knowing that something feels wrong. And I think, you know, over the last sort of few years, I think a lot of people have had this sort of inner knowing. So this is your clairsentience and your claircognizance are also very closely tied in with your intuition as well. And also your claircognizance is very closely connected to your clairaudience. So what you may know, or you may just have this inner knowing, you might have already had a voice tell you that that's what it is, and that's where this comes from. That's where this claircognizance tends to come from. Not always, but the majority of the time that's where it comes from, unknowingly. If you're not tuned into your clairaudience, then it can sometimes kind of just come out the blue and you don't really know where it's come from. But when you start tuning into it, you start, okay, now I'm kind of getting the gist of why I've been feeling this or knowing this, because it's been coming in from these other clairs. So sometimes when I receive information, it's kind of like it's all of my main 4 clairs working together. And it's very much, for me, I mean, my my strongest ones are my clairsentience and my clairvoyance. That's my strongest 2. My clairaudience and my claircognizance. My claircognizance is pretty strong as well, actually, because sometimes I just kind of know stuff. Like I just knew something was about to happen before the whole COV thing started. I just knew something. Something in my head just told me that it's about time we had an outbreak, and I don't know where that came from. And then about 3 months later, it all started kicking off, and then we started seeing all this stuff erupting. So I don't know where it comes from, and sometimes you'll feel like it's just like a passing thought, or it's just something you're making up in your head. A lot of the time it's not. It's actually somebody informing you, giving you information, giving you like just a little indication that something isn't right and something is about to happen. So when you get this, just pay attention to it. You don't have to sort of tell everyone about it or shout about it. Just be aware of it. And you might not always get it right. It might be, you might have something where it will be something along the lines that you feel or you know within, but it might not be exactly right, but it will be somewhere near, and there will be something going on with that. So that's basically what they are. So your clairsentience is sensing, your claircognizance is knowing. So yeah, and once you discover your strongest clair out of all your 4 main clairs, then the others will start coming online gradually over time. The more you work with them, the more you tune into them and focus on them. And you also have to be kind of like in the right place. So if you keep feeling kind of like vibrationally sort of a little bit low, a little bit down, you might be tired, you might be run down, it's not the best time to work with it, because you're gonna make yourself feel frustrated, because it's just not, you can't get into that flow. And the flow will come when it's meant to. The flow will happen when it's right for you. So that's the whole point, is that's why I said in the first few videos, don't get frustrated, don't get annoyed, don't get angry, don't get disappointed. because this kind of all just slows it all down. It slows the whole process down. And just do it when you're feeling right, when you're feeling on a buzz. I mean, today I'm pretty tired. I've been at work this morning, so I wouldn't want to be trying to do any of that work, you know. So if you are feeling tired or low or run down, don't go there. Don't do it. Just leave it alone, and it'll happen when it's meant to, for you, for your highest good. Because the more you try and push it, especially if you're feeling vibrationally low, and if you're opening yourself up to this stuff and you might not be protecting your energy properly, you're more susceptible to for things popping in, because you're opening yourself up to receive information. And if you haven't put the intention out there that you want this protection up, or maybe you've missed something because you're tired and you're not clear thinking and you're not going with the right flow, you know, then that's when you can start getting little things like thinking, oh, I'll just pop in there and just he's open and he's aware, and we can just see what we can do with that energy, and maybe just drain a little bit off him because he's on a really high vibe. And that's kind of like what this stuff can do, and it's nothing to be afraid of, although they can be pretty nasty. But it's just being aware of it and knowing how to set your boundaries, how to put your protection up, and how to ground yourself properly, so that when these things are about, you've got your spirit team on side, you've got your angelic beings, if you want to call any in, totally up to you. But you and your spirit team are extremely powerful, and just your intention alone is extremely powerful, because you won't allow anything. You put them words out there, them thoughts out there, that you won't allow anything negative to contact. It's only about positivity, love and light. But we'll move on to that in later videos, more in depth, I suppose, more a little bit more advanced videos, to work a little bit deeper down these various pathways. So working with your clairsentience and your claircognizance, some of the best ways that I've found that I like to work with both of them, especially together, is just watching people watching. And you usually find people who like to people watch are quite tuned in. They might not already know it, but they are quite tuned in, because they're sensing what people are feeling, they're sensing what people are up to, the tuning into what they might know about that person. They're tuning in into different things that they feel that they get from that person. So I find that a really, really good way of working on that energy. So, and it's not about being like kind of a peeping Tom. It's just about, like, you know, when you go into a shop, into a supermarket, or if you go to a cafe, you go and sit down and you just watch the bustle of people coming back and forth. And every now and again there'll be one person that will, or maybe a couple of people out of many people that will stand out, and you're like, why do they stand out? So just try and tune into that and think, right, okay, what do I feel from that? What do I feel is going on with them in their life right now? Do I feel that they've lost somebody? Right, okay, yeah, so I feel like they maybe lost a mother figure or a younger figure or whatever, you know. And it's not about going up to them and giving them this information. It's about you just using your discernment, and just trying to work this stuff out, and not putting too much of this thought into it, not putting too much brain activity into it, but just feeling it from your heart and feeling it from your soul, and having that connection. Even though it might be quite brief as they walk past, or as you pass them in the street, or pass them in the shop, or whatever the situation may be, as brief as it may be, you may just get like that feeling, and then you can tune into that feeling. You know, they can come and go, but then once they've gone, you can work on that, and you can tune in. You can think, right, okay, why am I feeling that? What do I pick up from that? All right, okay, and you start getting these little tingles, little nudges, little messages, and then once you finish doing, you know, just let it go. You know, just let the energy move on to back to them, and you can just carry on with your day without having to be constantly churning through this energy of working things out. So it's only just like short periods of time that you want to do it for when you're working with that, because you can be so pulled into stuff that it takes you totally out of the now, out of the present. And that's something that we don't want to do. We don't want to take ourselves out of, because we need to be aware, we need to be present, because if we're not present, then we're not aware of any other information that we might be receiving, that might be coming in, that we need to be aware of at that moment, and not being swept away and pulled away with it. So yeah, that for me, I find, is a really, really good way of using your clairsentience and your claircognizance. Other good ways of developing it and working with it, as well as your other clairs as well, is using like tarot cards, working with tarot. Again, another great form of divination, because you can tune into the cards and just do a reading for a friend or a family member or whatever, and just practice with the cards and see what you feel from them as you're pulling the cards. See what you feel from the cards when you're connecting to them, and see what you feel the information from the cards is giving you. And it takes time to build up a practice of using the cards, or you can use the oracle cards, which have like a written message in the books, which are a lot easier to use, because they already have like written information which you can go off, and then you can start like sort of tuning into what you feel with regards to that card for your friend, family member, loved one, whatever it may be. So that's another really good tool to use with regards to that. Other things which are really good for divination, especially clairvoyance, is looking into candles and looking into crystals, and asking for information, or feeling for information with regards to whatever a situation may be, and just sitting with it and meditating with it and just looking into a crystal or looking into a candle, and you'd be surprised, because you become so relaxed and so focused on one thing, that it brings you totally into the present and into the now, that these feelings and knowings just start flowing. You're like, wow, yeah, okay, right, okay, I get this. I kind of like know what I'm hearing, I know what I'm seeing, I know what I'm feeling, I know what I'm knowing, and you just make notes of it and write it all down. So all these different tools that I use on this channel, and all the different methods, even like incense smoke or sage smoke, just watch the smoke and watch it rise and see what you can see in the smoke as well, is another great way of using the smoke as a form of divination, and what shapes and things you can make out of the smoke. Dowsing as well. I'm going to do a video on dowsing, because someone's asked me to do a video on dowsing. But dowsing as well is another really, really good way of connecting with your clairsentience and your claircognizance, because whenever you ask, I only work with yes or no questions. I don't bother with maybes and all that sort of rubbish. I just want to know yes or no, and that's it. And usually I find when I come to douse, say if I'm dowsing someone's chakra points to find out what the energy is like or what healing needs to go on, I already know clairaudiently, clairsentiently, claircognizantly, I already know which chakras are going to be needing attention before the pendulum starts spinning, and that's kind of like because the energy is flowing through me, and I've already connected to it, and it's gone through me before it gets to the pendulum, which is moving down my hand into that. So I already know the information, and then it's coming out of here, giving me the sign that yes, that needs to be done, or no, that doesn't need to be done. And that's another really good way of connecting with your claircognizance and your clairsentience as well, of using that as a form of connection. Really powerful, really interesting way. What else can we use as forms of divination for connection? Yeah, I would say that's probably it. That's probably the ones that I normally work with. So the candlelight, looking into crystals, dowsing, and cards are all really good forms of divination to help you build and develop all 4 clairs, but also really strongly with the clairsentience and the claircognizance. And as once you discover your first main, most powerful clair, like I said, the others will start picking up and developing, where they will form a full package of all the main 4, and then all the other clairs on top of that will start popping in as well. Clairalliance, which is about clear scent, so you can smell things that the spirit world is wanting to give you. So you might have an indication of maybe, I don't know, a grandmother or a loved one that wore a certain perfume, and it was them all the time that wore that perfume, and all of a sudden you might have a sudden waft of it, maybe like lavender or a certain aftershave or a certain perfume, and you're like, oh, that smells like such and such, and so that's clairalliance. So there's loads of other different clairs. I think there's probably about maybe 13 or 14 altogether of clairs. There's probably more than that, actually. There's probably more on top of that. But yeah, you also tend to find that one clair will piggyback another. So like I say, my clairvoyance and my clairsentience are probably my strongest ones, but then my claircognizance is probably just as strong as well, and that's built up, and now my clairaudience is starting to fire up as well, and that's all through all these different forms of work, of healing, of development, of tuning in, and just tuning in when I feel right, when I feel like I need to tune in or I want to tune in, when I'm at the right vibrational state, not when I'm feeling low, not when I'm feeling tired, not when I'm feeling like a bit run down or anything like that. Because yeah, it happens. We all get run down. We all get tired. It's a human life. So yeah, when I'm feeling good and I'm feeling up there, then it's a lot easier. Because when your vibration is high, as I've said before, if you've got a high vibration and spirit's vibration is up here, they can bring theirs down a little bit, and you can raise yours a little bit, and then they can meet, and you can just start to tune in to receive little bits of information. Okay, so that's clairsentience and claircognizance, a little bit of information on them, ways you can help them, ways you can develop them, and different ways, different forms of divination of what you can use to develop them as well. So I hope this has helped. Like and follow for more, even subscribe and like. Give me a comment below, let me know what you think, give me a thumbs up, a bing, let me know what you think as well. And yeah, so I might do a video about dowsing next, and I'll talk about that and how it helps sort of fire things up as well within. So I'll leave that one here for now. I'll see you in the next video, and yeah, until then, much love, take care of yourselves, and bye for now. Bye bye.